Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. Now and then I get to review a watch by Nomos, a great manufacturer in a glass shooter with 175 years behind them in a watchmaking experience. Nomos these days is the largest producer in number of watches in Germany. They have very distinct model lines, and one thing I like about the brand is that they really stick to the original design of their model lines. They will introduce some innovations, for example, in the date format, but they are faithful to their model lines. So if you buy one today, you won't be disappointed that they change radically a model with a new generation in 2 or 3 years. And yeah, some of my favorites are the Autobahn and the Zurich, but I also appreciate the look of their more classic lines, the flagship, the Tangente, Metro, or the Ludwig. But I always had a soft spot for the Club line of watches, and I did review the Club Sport, but I always told the folks at Nomos, who, by the way, don't pay me for these reviews, they just want an independent opinion and read your comments, your feedback. And for me, it's great to discover very nice watches, well-made watches, and have some extra content for the channel. I always said to them, I really like the look of the club. Now the club campus and the club line of watches is the entry level of Nomos, and it is less pretentious, let's say. It's more youthful, certainly, and it's directed to a younger audience who wanted to have their first really taste of luxury with a really well-crafted manufacturer watch at a reasonable price, starting around 1,500 euros, and you can have engravings, and you can pay a bit more for the case back. And so finally they sent me two watches, and these are the Club Campus 38, so there's a 36 size, there's 38 size, so 38 neon, night and day. So two brand new colors to launch very soon, and they are very different, lots of different colors to choose from on the website. These will be limited to 33 pieces. It's pretty cool. I have the number 0, which probably will be reviewed by other YouTubers, and actually I should say that obviously I watch YouTube myself, and I have seen reviews of these on the big channels. Of course, Teddy Baldassare will give you all the nitty-gritty about all the dimensions and what is there to know. It's a great reviews. I also like the enthusiasm of Michael Christie, I believe is his name, on the Theo and Harris channel, who bought one of these for himself when he got to review them, because they are great everyday watches at a great size. And likewise, the Aussie guy from Just One More Watch also bought one of these. And so you've probably seen the reviews, you know a lot about it. What I can bring to this discussion is that I'm a bit older, I suppose. I'm in my late 40s. Why would I believe I can say I'm a bit seasoned collector who has a few more expensive, more luxurious watches in the collection. Why would I be interested in Club Campus? Well, simply because I'm an enthusiast, and a great design is a great design, and these watches have a really fresh, youthful, as I said, design, and I just find them really enjoyable to look at. So the visual, the first visual for these is of course this dial, which has what we call a California dial. From Panerai, you've seen the Roman numerals on top and the Arabics at the bottom. Here it's the opposite, but there's not many numerals. They are Also some straight rectangular type of indices. So it's a very cool look, and it doesn't shock at all, but at the same time it's playful, and you might not even notice at first that there are different type of numerals, and it's in a fresh font as well. Sub-second counter, and straight hands. So yeah, it's definitely a less austere than the Tangente, for example, or the Orion type of watches. So it's great that they can they are able to offer this. Now, if you've seen those videos that I mentioned, you know a bit what people love, and it's a bit what I've told you already, that is the rounded polished case, very thin. I believe it's just 8.5 millimeters. The case diameter is 38.5 millimeters. And this is a daily watch, 100 meters of water resistance, and you have superluminova on the hands, but also the numerals are lumed. And I believe this subdial here on the day version of this neon model is also lumed, so we'll have a little check on that later on. Every review that I've seen, one point of contention that's recurring is the length of the lugs and their styling. So they are fairly long, they round down, which actually will drape your wrist really well. To me, it's in a way a plus, because I think it gives a more mature stance on the wrist. So it really doesn't trouble me at all, because I have 17 centimeter wrists. So a 38.5 millimeter case is just about perfect. But the lugs, which are fairly flat and downturned, will give an extra stance on the wrist. But if you have a very small wrist, maybe you will prefer the 36 millimeter diameter version of the club. But it's a design choice from the beginning of Nomos. So I'm sure there is a good reason. Maybe they have tried. It would be super interesting to see an evolution of the case, rather than having a break between the lugs and the case, to have the lugs fully integrated, and maybe a bit more rounded and a bit shorter, to see how it would look, and maybe have rounded spring bars to match it, because in this configuration there is quite a bit of air, and so you get to see a bit too much of my hairy wrist, certainly. The strap is contemporary and quite classy. Feels really good. It's a velvet gray, made of carbon neutral Alcantara vegan velour, and it's hand sewn in Germany. Be careful, maybe ask for the smaller size. For me, I'm already at the last hole, and I could probably punch further one, so at 17 centimeter wrists. So it's a bit of like the standard size for watches coming from Germany and Switzerland. I find usually there's size too big, so yeah, you can always punch other holes, but maybe order a smaller one, or order one of the bracelets. A couple of pretty interesting bracelets from Nomos. So now let's zoom in with a bit of macro to see the quality of the execution of the dial. As you might have noticed already, there is no AR coating. So there is quite a lot of reflection that I will try to give you a very nice close-up. As you can see, the printing is very luscious and very precise. Also, look at the hands, super sharp execution, really hard to find any blemish. You have to go really, really close to find anything. You can see the playful printing of the numerals on the minute track. Everything is really top quality, and there's a bit of a grain to the subdial. Let me show you perhaps the other model, the Night, the Neon Night. Hard to choose between one and the other. Probably this one, this colorway would be nice in the fall, while the other is great for the spring. And there's just a bit of smudges on the dial. Let's get it right. You can see that the execution on this one is equally impeccable, with a light grain on the sub-dial for the running seconds hand, and the watch is made in Germany. Since I have the macro on, let's look at the manufacturer caliber. So it's called the Alpha, and you will see obviously the great level of finishing, the spiraling, the solarization here on the barrel, perlage at the bottom, and the architecture is probably familiar to you. I believe it is inspired by the classic 7001 Peseux, or ETA now, one that's been used by many young independent watchmakers, and often customized and finished to give different results. And here the finishing is really excellent. So 43 hours of power reserve, so manually wound, so you want to wind it probably every day at the same time to get the best performance out of this movement. It is adjusted in 6 positions, which is unusual for this price point, and accuracy guaranteed between -5 +5, which is quite good. And we can go closer for your viewing pleasure. Always good to see the how neat the transition from the top to the bevel is, and you can see it's really clean. Some black polish on some of the screws. Some of the screws are blued, heat blued. Really a very precise, neat execution. And the winding is pleasant, so the size of the crown is always important for a daily manually wound watch. Feels good, nice little click. And the crown is obviously the size is important to be comfortable, but also it has to match the look of the watch, the dimensions, and I think it's just perfectly appropriate. And you can, even if you're careful, avoid smudging the beautiful polishing of the case. So let's have a look at it. You can see a rounded bezel. That's flush to the case side. Flat sapphire crystal that protrudes just a little bit. So total height is 8.5 millimeters. So very slim watch. Of course, we need a proper wrist shot. So as you can see, despite the length of the lugs, we are still under 50 millimeters. So for me, 17 centimeter flat wrist, there's still a lot of space on each side. So as I was saying, it adds a bit more gravitas to the watch, which I think is a good thing in my case. And looking at it from this angle, you can see very flat. And overall, the first impression is the youthfulness of it, and you have a wide palette of choice. I really do like the neon night and the neon day. This is the day, and as you can see, there is already some lume to be looked at. We'll give you a lume shot in a second. All right, so let's lume the nighttime and the daytime. And as you can see, the sub-dials react the most. So those colorful superluminovas tend not to glow all that strong. The hands glow a bit stronger. And also the sub-dial on the nighttime version maybe doesn't glow as much as the daytime, which probably you would have expected the opposite. But it seems to lose that glow almost right away. So maybe it's just a first reaction to the UV light. But yeah, who is this for? Great entry luxury timepiece at a good price point for young enthusiasts. But if you're a seasoned collector, I think there's a lot of little nuggets beyond the colors that will interest you, and the execution is of a quality that any enthusiast can appreciate, that no matter what your age and your experience in collecting watches. And as I said, it's always a look of dial that I've liked. And would definitely love to have one of these in my collection. Let's look at the purple one. Really hard to choose because I like the contrast of the numerals a bit more on this one. The pink on purple is very, very pleasant. Yeah, let me know a bit in the comments which one is your favorite of these new releases. 33 pieces only. These are the number 0. And on the website you can for free have some extra engravings. So very few brands, if any, provides such a cool service. So you can have little engravings here. So you pay a bit more, I think 250 euro more if you want to have what in Hong Kong dollar the sapphire crystal will be 2,000 Hong Kong dollars. So yeah, it's about 250 US, I believe. So if the model here is a 16,000 Hong Kong dollar, that's 2,000 US. If you want the display case back, and if you want the stainless steel case back, you will save a bit of money. I think it's worth having being able to see the movement, and you can still have engravings, 3 words here around for free. And of course you can opt for one of the bracelet options as well. The references for these, so the Neon Night, I believe it's the 271863, and Neon Day is 277028. So check out updates on the website. I don't see these quite yet. They will be released very soon, so it's cool to have them a bit before anybody else. But as always, cool colorways, and that's the point with the club campus. You gotta choose the one that works for you, and these two really work for me. So I just want to thank the kind folks at Nomos for sending me these, because I've always wanted to experience them a little bit, and maybe I should take them outside. Today there's a bit of a typhoon in Hong Kong, so I can test the 100 meters of water resistance on the streets. I'm not too sure how the Alcantara is gonna fare outside, but maybe let's not test it out, because I have to return these watches. These are not keepers, unfortunately, but they don't disappoint. I always like the look online in videos, and I was intrigued by the reviews that I saw of other seasoned collectors, and how enthusiastic they were about these. And they were not wrong. This is really a super cool daily timepiece that is not pretentious, and yet is really well made. That's all I can say at this point. So there you go. Let Nomos know what you think about the watches in the comments, and if you like the watches, give the video a like. Maybe a few more people can benefit and see this in the YouTube feed. Alright guys, bye bye, tschüss.